your mind and not your back. What do I mean by that? Years ago, I heard some people talk about getting out of the truck. This is an example. And I want to just convey to you what that meant, what they were talking about. They said if you want to make good money, you've got to get out from behind the wheel of that truck. If you're the guy that's in there and you're constantly doing it, whether you're a plumber, electrician, house builder, whatever you're doing, lawn care guy, landscaper, if you're always behind the wheel of that truck, you can't be out hustling your business. You can't be out growing your business, okay? Because you're always in that truck. And it caps you off. It really does. It limits you to what you can make. And I never understood that. I didn't. I was always like, every time I try to leave a project, I try to walk away, my guys find a way to screw it up, okay? And I had to get over that. That mentality of me being on every single project, every minute of the day, was something that bottlenecked my company and held me down, actually. Okay, so what I want to do today is get it through your head that if you do want to grow your company, if you want to scale it to any elevation, you need to do this stuff now. You need to try to figure out a way to get out of that truck as soon as you can. Okay, so it's not going to happen overnight. It's something you have to think about. You need to have a plan in place so that you can implement it and you can get it going, and then eventually you're going to be able to make this work. Okay, but it'll never work if you don't develop a plan to help get you out of the truck. Okay, part of that plan absolutely needs to revolve around you picking out your best guy and saying, look, Jim Bob, I need you to learn this stuff the best you can because you're my best guy and I need to get out of this truck. I need to be out there working on building the business, and I can't do that if I'm sitting behind the wheel of this truck. All right. A good example of this is when it really hit me, actually, when it really came into play, was after I'd heard about this so many times, I found out I came in one day from working, and I had, not one day, I want to say it must have been in a month's time. I was trying to do all the jobs, and I was trying to do all the estimates, and one day it really hit me when I sat down at the table and I looked at this stack, and every day my wife would bring these home, and it would be another stack of people that called. And one time I counted them, and there was like 50-some estimates in there. And it's not that that came in one day, but as they came in, she gave them to me every day. When I come home, they'd call the office, and she gathered the information and brought it home to me. Problem was, I would work all day, half the time, right up till dark, come home, take a shower, eat supper, go to bed, get up, do the same thing again tomorrow. I would try to call one or two people and maybe go see them, but she might have brought home 4 or 5 estimates that day, and maybe I didn't get to any of them, maybe I got to one of them, and all of a sudden, before I knew it, there's 50-some estimates in front of my face. And it really hit me. I'm like, this is insanity. We spend the time to market, we got the phone to ring, we've answered the phone, now I can't even call these people back? That's terrible. It gives my business a black eye. It makes me look bad. And I'm like, and on top of that, that whole stack, look at all the money that was waiting for me to go get. And I couldn't do it. I didn't have the time to do it, right? So that comes back on me. That's poor planning on my part. And you can say, oh, well, you need to hire more guys. Well, that's fine and dandy to say, but when there's not good help out there to find, what do you do with it, right? There still can be good help out there. I mean, I know that they're out there. I know that there's good people out there. It's not like everybody's bad. But I can tell you, I can't, at that point, it was very hard for me to pull off the jobs and take care of these estimates, and it shouldn't have been. The other thing that I would do is I'd try and take care of as many estimates on the weekend as I could. So I was basically working 7 days a week trying to keep up with everything, and I still had a stack of 50-some in front of me, which is freaking ridiculous, right? All right, that being said, I lose a lot of work when you can't get to those jobs. You can't even get there to bid it, much less get to work, you know what I mean? So you have to find a way around that. That's when the light bulb went off, and I said, look, I got to do something different. I got to get out of this truck, right? So that's what I did for the most part. I still get in the truck here and there. I mainly do it because if I feel like I need to help out here and there, I'll jump in there. Do I have to do it all the time now? No, I don't, because I have people that can do it for me, okay? So it made a huge difference in my life, and that's what I'd like to explain to you today and how it can help you. All right, that being said, if you try to do it yourself, I'm going to give you an example. And this is an example that I do every day, all day long when I landscape. I can go out and I can make $1,000 a day, and this is just an example. I'm just throwing this number out there, but it's a very realistic number. And if I go out and I make $1,000 a day landscaping, okay, if you do that Monday through Friday, you'll make $5,000, right? But that's it. You're done at that point. You spend your weekends doing estimates, whatever, trying to catch up, spend family time, do whatever, maybe catch up your own work, or do maintenance on all the equipment. You're always trying to do something, but the bottom line is you made $5,000. Just follow along with this example. What would happen if you'd hire some more guys, get them on board to help out with this work, okay? If you've created enough of this work, and you know that you can get out of that truck if you just were able to, if you know that if the marketing works so well, when you have a stack of 50 people in front of your face and you can't get to them, you know you need to get out of that truck and you need to hire somebody else to get in there and help with that to get the work done, right? So, what would happen if you had two of them? What if you had two crews going, okay? And you got them, you trained them, you got them in place, and you had a key guy in each spot, The other spots you could fill in, but you need two key guys, right, to run those trucks. And if you taught them well and they could run their units, that's how you grow, that's how you scale. So now they're running efficiently. You're spending your time going out and doing the estimates, okay? And you bring that money back in. You're bringing the work into the business, and now you got to keep two trucks going. So that's motivation for you too, to keep moving and keep bringing in that business, right? So now, instead of making $5,000 a week, now you're making $10,000 a week. Okay, does everybody follow that thinking? Because it's critical you get this. You have to understand that. And now, maybe next year you can put on your third truck, okay? Maybe you can put that on. Now maybe you're making $15,000 a week, okay? It's easy enough to do. You have to control your marketing. You have to go after the work. That's a whole nother video. But get the point of this whole thing. When you're in a vehicle, you're capped off at how much you can make. It's like being stuck in a job. You know you can only work 40 hours a week because they're not going to pay you overtime. So you automatically know how much money you're going to be bringing home. You know what the taxes are. You know what all your deductions are, right? Okay. When you're in a job and you're in the truck, it's kind of like the same thing. You may not know exactly how much money you're going to bring in, but you know if you average $1,000 a day, you're probably going to bring in $5,000, right? So you either got to get way more proficient at these jobs and knock them out faster so that you can get to more of them, okay? Or figure out a way to get yourself out of the truck. Let those guys go make you money, which is using your brain. Let them go make the money. You just keep bringing the work into the business, okay? You paid your dues. You went out there, you learned how to do this stuff. Teach people. Just all you need is one key guy. One key guy. Train him on everything there is to do. You can still be there to answer his questions. You can still help him when he needs the help. The other thing you can do, if you're not ready to get out of the truck yet, teach someone to do estimating for you, okay? Get somebody out there getting the work so then you want, maybe if you don't want to get out of the truck, you can focus a few more years or whatever. If you like being in the field. I love being in the field, but I do realize I'm worth way more money out of that truck than I am in that truck, okay? So I can go out and I can bring in 50 grand worth of work in a day if I land all the jobs that I'm after, which of course I'm never going to do that. But if I go out there and I land, a $10,000 job today, great, that's great for me. Maybe I went and I bid 3 or 4 jobs and I only landed one and it was $2,500. Whatever it is, I can go and just keep doing this and keep bringing those jobs in and have these guys doing the work, okay? That'll allow you more time to take care of your marketing, to go hustle, to get the estimates. You spent the money on the marketing, you've got the phone to ring, you owe it to yourself to get out there and see that customer. You're doing a disservice to everyone in your group if you're dropping the ball. And believe me, this comes back on you. It is 100% your fault. It's nobody else's fault but your fault. You can't get to those. that was 100% my fault. I needed to think ahead. If I'm going to promote so hard that I'm going to market so well that I'm going to make that phone ring off the hook and put a stack of 50 in front of me that I just can't even call back, I screwed up. I should have either toned back the marketing on it, or I should have had a plan in place, and I didn't have that. I didn't do either. So what did I do? I made me look bad to 50 people that I couldn't even call and get back to. It was terrible. It was just terrible. So that being said, all right, I will tell you something else, you guys. From those of you who know me know I've been a landscaper for a lot of my life, right? So over 20 years. My back has gotten bad. My knees are bad. Yours are going to go too. If you're doing this, you're already probably having problems if you've been doing it for any amount of time. When you hit that old magical age of 40, all hell starts breaking loose with your body. And shit hits the fan, let me tell you. So, do yourself a favor, start thinking with your head and not your back. Start getting a plan in place, because you're going to need this. Your back will fail you. It's failed me, and I've stayed in shape. And it's done to numerous others. Leave your comments down below. Let me know. I'm sure a million of you guys had this happen to you. But it's going to fail you. It's just a matter of when. So if you keep doing the same thing, this repetitive over and over and over again, lifting heavy rocks and shovels and so on and so forth, it's bound to take its toll, right? So you got to think ahead, and you got to try and find an exit route to get out of that truck, to make money, to scale. There's reasons for it. You know, using your head to make money now is critical. I wished I would have done it 20 years ago. My back wouldn't be in the shape that it's in. My knees wouldn't be in the shape that they're in. If maybe not 20 years ago, because I've been doing it for 20 years, maybe 10 years ago that I did this, before everything really started to take a crap on me, you know. If I'd have done that then, I would be in way better shape today, and I wouldn't have these issues, you know. You look at surgery or whatever, your back's all messed up, your knees and stuff, you know, it's terrible. So think ahead. Know that your body is just like a mechanism. I mean, it's always moving, your joints are always moving, everything's moving, but everything wears out, okay? Keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to do what you're doing today forever. I promise you that, okay? If you're in that field, if you're in the landscape field, and there's a lot of you guys, even my son does electrical work. You know, I was helping him with that the other day, putting new electrical stuff in one of our shops, and I couldn't, it was work, you know? I mean, it's work. So regardless, there's a lot of jobs out there where it is hard work. And if you are doing the hard work, it's going to come back to haunt you. So try to figure out a way out. Get that one guy and get started in that direction. All right, that being said, what could go wrong with this way of thinking? Well, okay, anytime there's a mistake, you can go there and rectify it, okay? You can fix it. If your guys make a mistake, so be it. They're going to make a mistake. You've made mistakes. When that happens, you can go there and fix it. So don't think for a second you can't fix anything that's happening, because you can. Okay? So don't let that worry you. Don't let that stop you. Okay? Second thing, you're always available for their questions. Okay? Make yourself available. The other thing, what happens, and I've said this in many videos, those of you that subscribe to me, you know I repeat this over and over again, but for those of you who have never seen me before, what happens if you get sick? If you get sick, you get cancer, or you get hit by a car or something like that, what happens to your business? If you're that one guy and you are managing the whole thing and you didn't train anybody else coming up in your ranks to take your spot, then when your stuff goes to hell, when you get sick, or if you got in that car wreck, what happened to your business? You would lose your business. You'd lose everything you have, right? So, why would you want to do that? You don't want to do that. And it's not just that. And here's something that you guys don't think about, and I've recently had to think about. My wife's parents, okay? Mom passed away. Father's still alive, but he's aging. And now he's kind of crippled up to where he's in a wheelchair. So we're having to go in there and take care of him all the time. Okay, well, what are we going to do when summer hits when we're busy as hell, right? Well, something's got to happen. We're going to have to hire someone to come in there and do that. If we didn't have multiple streams of income coming into our business, we'd never be able to afford to hire someone to do that, right? Okay, so one thing to think about. The other thing, your parents. What about when they get sick? No one wants to put their parents in what I call an old folks home. No one wants to do that. I wouldn't want to be in one. But the reality is I may have to be someday, okay? But here again, who's going to pay for that, right? Is anybody thinking of that? Or is everybody just thinking about themselves and today, what's right in front of their nose? That's the only thing that they're thinking of. And I see this over and over and over again. Your own family members, you could have a daughter or a son that gets sick, or they get in a car wreck and they need attention. If you have to be out working for your money, okay, then how can you be there to take care of them? You can't do both. So if you had to quit your job to take care of them, because of course you would, because you love them, where's the money going to come from? If you have someone set up to take over your business, now I don't give a shit if it's lawn care, landscaping, electrical, plumbing, window washing, whatever it is. If you don't have somebody set to take off to continue working that business, you're in big trouble. This has been George Packard. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you think with this, not your back. Thanks for watching.